Good afternoon and welcome to Spectrum Television News at Noon. I am Uyai Imam, coming to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government to expand Deep Blue projects to Bakassi and other maritime corridors. The All Progressives Congress settles for direct presidential primaries. In other news, NATO Chief Rutte welcomes United States sending 5,000 troops to Poland. We'll bring the details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. This is Spectrum Television News at Noon. We begin with the nation's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has commended the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, for dismantling a sophisticated Nigerian-Mexican drug syndicate and uncovering a multi-million-dollar illicit drug production network operating in the country. The president's message was contained in a statement issued by his special advisor on information and strategy, Byron Anuga. Recall that NDLEA chairman Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, retired, had on Wednesday announced the breakthrough following a major operation carried out by the agency in collaboration with international partners after weeks of intelligence gathering and strategic planning. According to President Tinubu, the operation, which led to the arrest of foreign nationals, local drug kingpins, and other collaborators, as well as the seizure of illicit drugs and chemicals valued at over $360 million, reflects the professionalism and commitment of the Anti-Narcotics Agency. Away from that, the federal government has announced plans to expand Deep Blue projects to vulnerable coastal and maritime corridors across the country, including the Bakassi axis, as part of efforts to further strengthen maritime security and sustain gains against piracy in Nigerian waters. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, disclosed this during the graduation ceremony of 492 advanced combat personnel and capability presentation of the Deep Blue Project Task Group at the 5th Battalion Army Barracks, Elele, Rivers State. Oyetola said the proposed expansion would cover strategic coastal locations such as the Bakassi Peninsula, Igbo-Koda, and other vulnerable maritime corridors across the country under the Integrated National Security and Waterways Protection Infrastructure, popularly known as the Deep Blue Project. According to the minister, the initiative is aimed at consolidating the successes already recorded under the project and enhancing Nigeria's maritime security architecture. Meanwhile, the federal government has launched its net zero investments plan in Abuja, setting a 2060 target for carbon neutrality while pushing for growth anchored on clean investment. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, said the plan outlines Nigeria's pathway to net zero greenhouse gas emissions and positions climate action within the country's long-term economic framework. Bagudu said recent engagements with German partners secured commitments to mobilize long-term funding, including 71 million euros in contributions and a 300 million euros credit guarantee to support climate-aligned investments. Moving on to the judiciary, where the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court has nullified the guidelines which was issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) directing political parties to submit their membership registers and databases by May 10 as a condition for participating in the 2027 general elections. Delivering the judgment in a suit filed by the Youth Party, Justice Garbara Umar held that INEC lacked the power to shorten the timeline already provided under the Electoral Act 2026. The court ruled that Section 29 Sub 1 of the Electoral Act gives political parties up to 120 days before an election to submit the personal particulars of their candidates, adding that INEC cannot lawfully impose an earlier deadline. With the ruling, all registered political parties now have until September 2026 to submit updated membership registers to INEC, effectively setting aside the Commission's earlier May 10 deadline. Now to party politics, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC has announced that its presidential candidate for the 2027 general election will emerge through a direct primary election scheduled to take place across all 8,809 wards nationwide this Saturday, May 23rd. APC National Secretary Senator Ajibola Bashiru disclosed this in an official notice detailing the guidelines and structural framework for the high-stakes shadow election. According to Bashiru, the party is adopting an all-inclusive approach, granting every registered member the right to participate in the internal democracy blueprint. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress Governorship Screening Committee in Rivers State has declared Ogudu Chinda as the party's governorship candidate for the state. The declaration was made at the APC Secretariat following the collation of results from wards across the 23 local government areas of the state. Announcing the outcome of the primary election, chairman of the screening committee, Beatrice Kwamoti, said Chinda emerged victorious with a total of over 268,000 votes. Meanwhile, Kwamoti described the exercise as peaceful and successful, commending party members for their conduct throughout the process.
Gundu Kinsley, having satisfied the requirements of APC Constitution and guidelines and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared winner of the primary election and is in turn elected.
Thank you to everybody, those who on their own, whether for personal interest or interest of the state, decided to make this process easier and more peaceful. I'm grateful to them. To leaders of the state that has found me worthy to fly the flag of the All Progressive Congress. I also appreciate them. I might not be the best in the state, but all the assurance I will give is that we are going to serve the people with the fear of God and respect for the rule of law. I appreciate them. I thank them for contributing towards the process. It's a democratic process.
Back here on the home front, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has won the All Progressives Congress APC governorship primaries to emerge as the candidate of the party in the 2027 general election, while restating his commitment to good governance. Speaking shortly after the primaries, the governor said the overwhelming support for his re-election is a call to greater service, stressing that he will put in his best in the call to service part 2. Governor Noor said the rise of gender will be assessed to identify gaps and efforts will be made to plug them for the good of the state. He acknowledged with gratitude to God and Akwa Ibom people that it was the first time in the history of the state that the party had only one governorship candidate in the primaries. He commended President Bola Tinubu, the Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the entire members of the National Assembly for providing the template and enacting the law to abolish indirect primaries, which has now made primaries to become very free, fair and transparent. He also appreciated the leadership of the APC in the state for working together to ensure a peaceful exercise. Government House correspondent Jane Wah reports that Governor Eno used the occasion to urge those who will emerge as candidates of other political parties to avoid campaign of calumny but focus on issues to avoid heating up the polity ahead of the polls. Now to Africa, Moroccan authorities have said that a residential building in the city of Fez collapsed, killing 9 people and injuring others. The authorities said it was unclear how many people in total were inside the 5-story building when it crumbled. According to a Fez court, the latest toll was still preliminary, adding that an investigation had been opened. On the foreign scene, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has welcomed the move by U.S. President Donald Trump to send an extra 5,000 troops to Poland ahead of a meeting of foreign ministers in Sweden. Rutte noted that the trajectory towards Europe becoming less reliant on the U.S. will continue. Recall that President Donald Trump had said the U.S. will send an extra 5,000 troops to Poland, a week after the Pentagon canceled the planned deployment of 4,000 troops to the country. Writing on his Truth Social platform, Trump said the decision was based on the U.S.'s relationship with Polish President Karol Nawrocki, whom he backed during last year's presidential elections. Still on the foreign scene, the acting U.S. Navy Secretary Hong Kao has said that the U.S. is pausing a $14 billion arms sale to Taiwan to ensure it has enough weapons for the Iran war. Kao confirmed this at a Senate hearing, days after President Donald Trump appeared non-committal about the sale following his meetings with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. A spokesperson for Taiwan's presidential office told reporters today that they had not received any information about U.S. adjustments to the arms sales. Still to come in the news. Churchill names England World Cup squad as Alexander Arnold misses out. Do stay tuned for details of the stories and more in a moment. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. And now to conclude the news on this hour. On our business news, the Nigerian currency, the Naira, has maintained its steady momentum against the United States dollar today, demonstrating continued stability across both the official window and the informal parallel market segments. In the Nigerian foreign exchange market, which serves as the official platform for formal trade, the Naira opened the day session at 1,370 per US dollar trading. The performance aligns closely with the closing trends from the previous session, where daily averages hovered around 1,371 naira to 1,373 naira range. On our health news, United Nations agencies have moved swiftly to contain the latest Ebola outbreak in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, delivering emergency medical supplies, protective equipment and logistics support. United Nations spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric gave the update in New York while briefing journalists on the Ebola outbreak in DR Congo and Uganda. Dujarric said the mission also made available 4 light passenger vehicles to support search team operations in Ituri. He added that MONUSCO had positioned 1 helicopter to support flights to affected areas in Ituri as required. Now to sports, where Thomas Tuchel has named his 26-player World Cup squad. Tony and Watkins have been included as strikers, Maino and Henderson in midfield, while Stones and Spence are part of defense. Meanwhile, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer and Trent Alexander-Arnold are among those who will miss out. The World Cup will kick off June 11 in the United States, Canada and Mexico. Still in sports, Rafael Onyedika has won the 2025-2026 Belgian Pro League title with Club Brugge. Club Brugge clinched the title after playing out a 2-2 draw with KV Mechelen yesterday. Onyedika now has the league title twice with one of Belgium's most successful sides. Recall that the defensive midfielder was part of Brugge's title-winning squad in the 2023-2024 season. On entertainment news, Afrobeat star Rema has joined South Korean pop act Lisa and Brazilian pop singer Anitta on Goals, a new single from the official FIFA World Cup 2026 album. The track, which dropped yesterday, had an official music video released alongside it. FIFA stated that the album serves as a unifying platform where music and sport intersect, designed to connect fans and cultures worldwide. Still on entertainment, Nigerian actress Annie Macaulay has announced her return to acting with a new project. Macaulay, who shared a video from a movie set on Instagram, said acting has always been close to her heart. She noted that being back on set reminded her of why she started her career. The Nigerian actress expressed gratitude for growth, new beginnings, and opportunities to continue telling stories through film. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at noon. I am Uyai Imam. Thanks for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.